Welcome everyone to another episode of Coral Living. Now, it's been a few hot days, but talking about hot stuff, hot off the press, we've got It's New Tom Starfield. So, let's check it out.
Finally, done.
What are you doing?
Well, I finally just uploaded this little cartoon I've been making on the computer. I've been at it for 2 weeks, Gertie. My animation. Bill Cosmic? Haven't you been wondering what I've been doing every night?
I just thought you were addicted to porn like a regular person would be. What's Bill Cosmic?
Well, it's a cartoon about this little dude named Bill Cosmic. And he makes cartoons, and he posts them on...
Ugh! Never mind. What a waste of time.
Well, now that it's uploaded to all my social media, it's time to sit and watch the likes roll in. What the hell is going on? How didn't it get any likes?
I told you it was a waste of time.
Could just say nothing, you know. I worked really hard on this.
You don't get it, Tom. People want to see something they can relate to. Like this picture I posted of the lawn looking nice after the landscapers cut the grass.
There sure are a lot of dudes sending you eggplant emojis. What do the eggplants mean?
They're probably just some trending way of saying they think my picture's neat. You know, like a big purple thumbs up or something. Oh. Ow!
Hey, I think I got a like.
No, Tom. This says you owe a like.
How the hell did I end up owing Facebook likes? And just look what other people are posting on here. Esteban literally posted a picture of just his paycheck. And it's got 400 likes! Hashtag your envy fuels me.
Yeah, well, he gets it, Tom.
Fine. I'll just post my pay stub to Facebook too. Hashtag cash money money! Martha Starfield reacted to this with a concern emoji. Ugh.
Alright, we're back. I hope you guys enjoyed that new episode of It's Tom Starfield. You can go check out his YouTube channel.
Pause this. Go subscribe to It's Tom Starfield. Don't even come back.
And then come back and watch. Alright, well anyway, tonight
Seriously.
we're going to talk about resistance. Now, there's all forms of resistance, but what type of resistance are we getting at tonight?
Resistance is futile.
I don't know. I was just thinking as the ultimate cosmic force that makes you have to work so hard to get anything done in this reality.
Yeah. Did you listen? Were you listening to The War of Art?
I did. Actually, fantastic book if you want to go check it out. The War of Art. Who's the author?
Stephen Pressfield.
Yeah. That was actually like a great book. I'm glad you got me to listen to it. But no, it just gets into great detail about all the things that can pull us away from getting anything done. Right? Like, what are the hardest things, like, for you, after you read that book, what do you find is, like, a major thing that is preventing you from doing the things you want to do with your life that you want to do?
Well, the way the book lays it out is that it comes in any kind of form.
But I think he pointed out in the book that the most common form of it is procrastination.
Yeah.
Like that's like the purest essence of resistance.
Are you a procrastinator?
I can be, you know what I mean? Like, and procrastination in the sense of like, most people, you know, most conscious, awake, thinking, relatively, you know, intelligent people have some kind of a dream, you know what I mean? Or have something they know their best self would be getting to if they had the time, or if they, you know, weren't so cynical, or whatever the case may be. There's something people want to do, you know? But life gets in the way. You got to pay your bills, you got to eat, you've got to, you know, humans have lots of needs, you know, need for companionship and everything. And it gets
exhausting.
And it's exhausting, right? But at the end of the day, the biggest thing that's going to stop you from chasing your dreams or chasing the kind of art you want to do, or just pursuing what you love is, I think the biggest hurdle is usually procrastination.
Pause. Of course, a robot's got to start up. What is that?
It was the Roomba.
So just go back into what you were saying. Procrastination.
So that was resistance. Little unforeseen things. That can be resistance too, like a Roomba turning on and coming down the hallway in the middle of this. Or, you know what I mean?
How many times have we tried to do a show and everything goes wrong?
Yeah, like we had Jer on a couple of weeks ago, and, you know, the mic kept breaking, like, and we were like, we're doing it! I don't care if we have to edit the hell out of it, you know? By the end we were like, Jer, good point. Like it was edited to death, but it was, you have to do it. That's what overcoming resistance is about, is like, I'm doing this. I don't care what comes my way. But the point I was trying to make is, it can come in many forms. It can come in sickness. It can come in the form of drama from a family member. It can come in the form of your car breaking, you know, like, I can't effing do it. I can't get to work today. My car's broken, you know. But if the more you love the thing and the more you're focused on it, you're going to find ways over those hurdles. But the biggest hurdle is procrastination, is I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, I'm going to write that screenplay. I'm going to paint that painting, but I'll do it tomorrow. That's the biggest killer.
And when dreams. I think there's like a habit forming thing that gets on there. If you give in to that enough, which we all do, so I think starting a good habit when you're young to prevent yourself from falling into that trap of procrastination would be staying active and getting a good idea of what you want to get accomplished within your dream spectrum.
Having an ideal that's bigger than how you feel. Like, this is more important than even my quality of life. This is more important than anything. It sounds psycho, but I honestly think that that's somehow sometimes what it seems to me that the greats do. They're like, I don't even give a shit. I don't give a shit, man. I didn't even go to my, I didn't even go to my graduation. I stayed home and I worked on my thing. You know, it sounds nuts, and it's maybe some people are tuning out by the masses right now. Don't tune out yet, because there's something to be said here, you know? It's like, no excuses. No excuses. If there's something you love, just do it, you know?
It doesn't matter how painful it is, because sometimes the road is going to be painful.
Right.
It's going to be exhausting. You're not always going to want to do, whether it's my job or working on this channel or any of my other side hustles that I work on.
That's resistance. So that could be resistance, is a cynical thing of like armchair looking at someone and being like, yeah, they've got millions, but you know what have they talked to their mother in a few years? When's the last time they talked to their mother? You know, their relationship, their marriage is falling apart. Like, fuck you! You know? They're doing something, man, and you're a fucking loser if you can't find the time to do what you love. You know, don't even worry about the end result. Don't even worry about
there's a laundry list of excuses you can come up
exactly
with to not get something done.
And that's resistance. If a guy with no arms and no legs can, become a triathlon guy, then you can do it. You can sit down and pursue your dream, And if you don't have a dream, dream to have a dream. My dream is to have a dream. Start somewhere, right?
People just get forever lost in the procrastination, and the longer that you put something off, the deeper the hole you've buried yourself in, and then you just can't get out anymore? Is that what happens to people?
Like you fall into, well, what's going to happen is you'll fall into, without meaning, without direction, without a heading, you'll probably fall into some kind of addiction. You'll probably fall into, you'll find troubles about you that are just stupid. Like probably just silly quibbles, and
Beliefs and world perspective definitely play into this game too, because what you think about like this life and maybe a so-called afterlife are also going to influence what you are doing now. Like a lot of people, like think about how many like religious institutions put so much emphasis on the afterlife. Don't focus so much on what you're doing right here, right now. Just know that one day, if you are good and do everything you're told to do, you'll.
What was it? Which one of our guests was it that talked about hopium? Smoking a big hopium joint.
That's Chris Ayres.
Yeah, Chris, I love that.
Yeah.
Light up a big hopium joint.
Yeah.
I got plenty of lifetimes. I don't even need to try in this life. Like, you don't know that. And your life is not going to have meaning, by the way, if you rest on your laurels like that. You're probably going to, like, if you're either snowballing into greatness or you're snowballing into fucking
one quote that I read not too long ago, I've even mentioned on this channel before, that I've kind of like written on my heart, is one by Confucius, which is ancient, who said that every man is given 2 lives, and the second one begins when he realizes he only has one. I love that quote, because it lights a fire under your ass. Like, stop putting your shit off.
So there's resistance. That's kind of scary to say. This feels scary to say, but what if a version of, and when we talk about resistance, we're almost talking like a force of nature, that is not, don't take it personally. That's its job, and it takes its job seriously, is to like stop production and stop effective lives. But one of the versions...
It's almost like it's a thing that needs to know that you're serious about this. Like, I'm going to throw a few chinks in this chain to see how much you actually care about.
You remember in the chapter, The War of Art, he talks about it's always the worst when you're nearing the end, the finish line of your project. That is like so true. That cartoon you just watched, man, it's like every time I'm wrapping up one of those cartoons near the end, something gets deleted. That like F's it up and I have a nervous breakdown and, want to give up. But then I do it, and then I do it and then enroll in the likes and enroll in the compliments. And it's all worth it, But it's good. But that's how resistance works, is it just when you think you're almost there, it'll throw some more red herrings at you to F you up, And I'm sure there's tons of scriptures and everything written on this, about this idea of resistance and the way it shows up and presents itself into your life, and it's like something you have to overcome.
Yeah. So how do we get beyond this? How do we?
You can't get beyond it. You
Well,
gotta go through
I think there are some tools paired nicely with that book we just mentioned, the War of Art, would be a great book that I just read called Atomic Habits. Which is great. It's free on Spotify if you want to listen to it. But it focuses on how we try to take on too much in creating a new habit, and then we just give up on it. But if you start small with your habits and you like make a covenant with the universe that I will do this thing, even though it's tiny and minuscule, I will do it no matter what.
Do a ceremony. Light something on fire and like shave your head.
Yeah.
Or do whatever you gotta do to like oath to yourself that this is what's gonna happen.
But back to my point though, is that the atomic habit, an atom is something small. The idea is that there's a compounding effect that comes from being able to set out for yourself something to accomplish and getting it done. So actually achieving something and getting the dopamine hit that comes from achieving something, crossing it off out of your goals book and saying I did it, and then that build it's a snowball effect that just keeps rolling and bigger, and then you can take on bigger challenges and just slowly build out from there. To me it felt like that book paired nice with this one because I read them back to back and I was like, wow, that was like perfect. It was exactly what I needed to hear. And I've seen the fruits of that labor in my life. Compounding effects off of, small achievable goals. But also I think there's something to be said about setting out really hard goals. Like I have goals written down that, might take 20 years to accomplish. Who knows, they might come sooner.
It's
I
a
have
really
a
weird
vision for that.
A really weird thing about taking, tons of notes down is going back and thumbing through notes that you wrote years ago and actually seeing how many of those little things you did. You're like, holy crap, I forgot I even wrote that as a note, but I actually ended up doing it weirdly. It does something to it probably works with your subconscious mind in
For
tandem
sure.
with
Absolutely,
your conscious
for sure.
mind, and then
For
you
sure.
just end up falling into these things that you passingly wrote down as like dreams and hopes.
And I've had things that I've like crossed off and be like, I'm giving up, I'll never be able to do that, and like given up on it. And then a year or two later, you run down the road and you're like, geez, I actually did that thing. I didn't even think I'd even ever do that.
Yeah.
It was like I gave up on it, and it actually happened.
Yeah, so
So
write your stuff down.
go watch my episode on Goals Book.
And it's funny when you get into something, when you investigate and look into something like witchcraft or something, and there's all this stuff about writing stuff down. In my opinion, there's like plenty to be said about, the occult and witchcraft and how it's really psychological devices. You know what I mean? Like making a sigil or something like that,
Yeah.
where you like take something you want to have happen and then you break it down into pieces and then turn it into a symbol and like, write it on something and light it on fire or bury it or whatever the heck you do to charge it. It's like, there's plenty to be said about the psychological effect of doing a ritual and like telling yourself like, this is something I want to have
I
happen.
literally just listened to like a TED Talk today, and it was all about like manifesting your dreams, and it was just like, take 5 minutes out of your day to just sit down and imagine for yourself the way you wish your life was.
Mm-hmm.
Just like,
It's
what do
actually
you
hard
want?
to do.
Yeah.
Have you ever noticed that?
Yeah.
It's easier for you to stay up late at night losing sleep worrying than it is for you to sit down and entertain your wildest dreams.
Yeah.
That's like hard to do.
Yeah.
Why is it so hard to do? Resistance.
Yeah.
Because there's a part of you and there's a part of nature and there's a part of this whole universe that actually its job is to like stop that. Why else would it be so tangible? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I wonder why.
I don't know.
The universe.
I
would-
kind of like what you said about, maybe it's to test you. Are you really mean this? Because I can give you an easy life. I can give you a job. I can give you health care. I can give you every pleasure you can imagine. But your dream, you really want your wildest dream?
Well, would
You're gonna have to fight for it.
Would you necessarily there's something about accomplishing something that's really hard that is more satisfying, more fulfilling when you've gone through the hard work of getting it done. If it just came easy to you,
Maybe this is part of
you
it.
would appreciate it.
Part of, I think, the good thing about hearing what we're saying and understanding it is that when the troubles come, you're going to be like, instead of like being a bitch, instead of tapping into your inner beta bitch and being like, F this, man, I was right the first time when I was just like watching Friends and eating Cheetos and not doing anything. Fuck this, it's too hard. Instead of doing that, you'll be like, no, I remember it was supposed to be hard. Everything that can go wrong will go wrong. This is part of it. I'm doing it. It's hard. You'll probably, if you can get to the point where you're gleeful, it's probably not hard enough yet. I almost feel like you're required to have a meltdown.
Well, didn't that book say that being scared is like having some fear?
Yeah.
Being a little afraid of the thing that you're trying, getting uncomfortable.
Beyond what any person could enjoy. You're not far enough yet if you haven't embarrassed yourself melting down. You're not there actually yet. There's more to go.
Yeah.
You're not embarrassed yet enough. No.
Oh.
You're catatonic. You're actually legit catatonic. Okay, you're there. Keep going.
Yeah. I don't
what the
know.
hell I'm talking about. but-
What do you guys think? Do you guys think this is actually like a legitimate force that runs the universe, or are we just talking out of our asses here?
Don't give them that option.
No, we know. We're never wrong. We know exactly what we're talking about. No, leave it in the comments. Tell us what you guys think about this subject. Is there anything else you'd like to add to resistance?
Just to double down on the leave a damn comment.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode here. If you liked it, don't forget to hit the subscribe, like, share it with a friend. Look for all our links down in the description box. And everybody, until next time, stay spiritual.